Hello everyone and welcome on board the English language or the 615 English language edition on Canal International. I'm called Maureen Z. We'll begin with our top stories. Passengers regularly traveling to the west region of Cameroon have expressed dismay over the high transportation costs over the weekend. They expressed worries while transport fares double on weekends, whereas on Mondays to Wednesday the normal fare are respected. And before the presentation of the 2024 finance bill to the lower house of Parliament's economic, financial, social and cultural program by the Prime Minister, there was a scenario of resistance by the opposition MPs, PCRN, UDC, SDF and others. The cause, once again, is a late tabling of the bill relating to the 2024 Finance Act. Those are major stories. Details right ahead. Good evening once more. Passengers regularly traveling to the west region of Cameroon have expressed dismay over the high transportation costs over the weekends. They expressed worries while transport fares double on weekends, whereas on Mondays to Wednesday the normal fare are respected. Gladys Ambo Dibang visited some travel agencies here in Cameroon's economic hub Douala. Her story. We are talking about passengers who regularly travel to the west region of Cameroon who have expressed dismay over the high transportation costs over the weekend. They express worries while transport fare doubles on the weekend, whereas from Mondays to Wednesdays, the normal fare are respected. Our reporter Gladys Ambo Dibang visited some travel agencies here in Cameroon's economic hub. Her story.
Long queues at the counters of these travel agencies in Douala as passengers are eager to pay their travel tickets to the West region. This is the atmosphere that usually reigns in these travel agencies on weekends when the majority of people from the West region travel to their hometowns or others for business. The issue here is the fluctuating transport fare that passengers are against, normal transport cost from Mondays to Wednesdays, and an increase from Thursday to Sundays. From Mondays to Wednesdays, a passenger leaving Douala
We are sorry for those technical hitches, with security reports indicating a progressive return to normalcy in the Northwest region. Mayors and other civil servants have been encouraged to go back to the respective constituencies and help complete the peaceful atmosphere in an administrative and security coordination meeting held in Santa yesterday. The governor of the Northwest region says all hands should be put on dirt to help the region out of the present problems. More with a Northwest reporter, Annie Collins. Annie.
The governor of the Northwest region has frowned at mayors and other politicians who run their activities from out of their constituencies. Speaking at the third semester Administrative and Security Coordination meeting in Santa on Thursday, November 30, Adolphe Lafrique wondered that some mayors hold their council sessions in hotels in Bamenda, while others used social media handles to manage situations back home.
People are pretending that you are the one to fight against insecurity. You cannot be expecting it from the security service if you are not there present ourselves. When an incident occurs, somebody will send me a video of a statement he had made to denounce what happened in his constituency, meaning that it's now in social media. that we are holding from our constituency.
Santa is a gateway municipality into Northwest region, and there are people who are law-abiding, who respect state institutions, but always stand firm when it concerns their right.
He told senior divisional officers to pin down civil servants who are absent from duty in the name of ghost towns. The gateway town of Santa into the Northwest region is following the footsteps of Nkambe in peace culture, probably why it was chosen to host this administrative and security cream of the region.
We are grateful for the support of the media men that we asked to contribute to this thing.
The much-needed peace is already inviting giant projects like the soon-to-be-launched Rural Electrification Agency.
Some of the localities are really beneficiary of power supply, but they have with a single-phase power. So this project is going to give the opportunity for their line to be upgraded.
Not to let the cat out of the bag, the regional chief executive said the security forces have put in place a mechanism to guarantee a hitch-free end of year 2023 and beginning of 2024 festive period.
And today, December 1, 2023, is commemorated as a day for the fight against HIV and AIDS. Our newsroom took interest in exploring condom use in young people. From our survey, some youths acknowledged a use of condoms, while others completely rejected it, despite the risks of contamination. More in the following story.
Condom use remains the most effective behavioral methods for prevention of HIV and AIDS and unplanned pregnancies and a lot more. However, condom use remains inconsistent among young people, particularly adolescents. On the streets of December 1, on 10 youths we talked to, at least have acknowledged use of condoms for protection.
Moi, en tant que jeune et en tant que personne consciente,
as a youth, I prefer to use condoms. In short, I advise every other youth to use condoms. This is the only way to prevent diseases, unwanted pregnancy, and your family.
Avec préservatif. J'aime ma santé, gars.
I love my health. Reason why I must protect.
Quand tu te protèges toi-même, tu protèges aussi ceux qui sont autour de toi.
Other youths don't share the same opinion. Using condom during sexual intercourse is like depriving themselves from enjoying sex, and as a result, they end up being contaminated. To couples, it is a matter of trust.
People that are married, they are not using condom. But people that are not married, that are just in a friendly relationship, they are using condom to preserve themselves. And then, if someone is married and want to go out, he will surely use condom to preserve his family.
C'est ça un préservatif, c'est ma femme.
Most condoms are infected already. That's why I avoid them sometimes. With my wife, we always know how to handle our sex life, with or without condom. We further went into the neighborhoods to question shop owners who deal in the product to tell us the frequency of its purchase and demand by those who live around the neighborhood. One of my most sold products daily are condoms. They're highly solicited. I can sell at least 7 and even more packets daily. World Day to fight against HIV and AIDS every December 1 comes as a warning signal to all that HIV and AIDS remains deadly.
And the city of Kribi in the south or region of Cameroon is grappling with severe shortage of pediatricians, with just one practitioner available to cater to the entire children population in that area. The scarcity poses a significant threat to the well-being of infants and children, prompting an outcry from concerned citizens in that part of the country. More with our student journalist on internship, Christy IRRITATES.
With the increased number of children being born daily, Kribi has only one pediatrician serving the entire community, a situation which makes the population worry.
Nous pensons que cette situation
This is a very big problematic in the town of Cliquez. To have just one pediatrician, it is deplorable. It's very difficult to work in such conditions. It's too much work for one person. I arrived there one day and saw the number of children in the maternity just for a single pediatrician.
Se débrouille à s'occuper des enfants.
A deplorable situation for parents who strive tirelessly to ensure regular checkups for their children. When the pediatrician is unavailable, they are left with no choice but to travel to other towns, often at their inconvenience and expense. In case of any problem, and the pediatrician is not there, we are forced to displace urgently with our children, either in Edea or Douala, because we have just one pediatrician.
Il y a quelques jours, il y a eu des...
A few days ago, several persons were in the hospital with just 6 children to see the pediatrician, but he wasn't available. He can't multiply himself. He can't be in 2 places at the same time. The gravity of the situation has prompted population to call upon competent authorities to address this pressing issue. The Minister of Health must assign specialists in Cliquez hospitals, most especially pediatricians, to take care of children. You know, the child's health is so fragile and we don't confide it to anyone. The well-being of the younger generation is at stake, and it is imperative that immediate measures be taken to rectify this alarming issue.
And yesterday, Thursday, November 30, despite resistance from the opposition members of Parliament, the Prime Minister and head of government, Joseph Diangoute, presented the Economic, Financial, Social and Economic Economic, Financial, Social and Cultural Program for 2024. The state budget presented for the adoption stands at 6,740.1 billion francs CFA compared to 6,726.9 billion in 2023. The 2024 budget takes into consideration the national and international constraints of effective, efficient realization. The Prime Minister and head of government explains the projection to the PMs, and different ministers will be appearing before the people's representative in the days ahead to defend the different portions of the budget before a possible adoption. A scenario of resistance by the opposition MPs, PCRN, SDF, UDC, and others. The cause, once again, is a late tabling of 1 week for the examination, the passage of more than 30 minutes holding portfolios, and the adoptions of the next in the 2 chambers successfully. We'll have the story with our reporter, Aisencha.
Il faut respecter la loi, Monsieur le Président. On attendait ce projet de loi 15 jours avant l'ouverture de la session. On l'a qu'aujourd'hui, un document à moitié. Est-ce qu'on va continuer? Quel Cameroun allons-nous laisser à notre génération, Monsieur le Président?
Another attack by the opposition members of parliament at the hemicycle against the non-respect of the deadline for the submission of the finance bill.
À un moment donné,
at a point, we must revolt. We are a minority, but we are at the good side, the side of the law. A handful of the representatives of the minority portion in the National Assembly lamented over the non-respect of the law by lawmakers. The finance bill tabled on the night of Thursday, November 30th, was expected by the MPs at least 15 days before the start of the November session, as stipulated by the law.
Vous violez la loi tous les jours, maintenant vous vous opposez à quoi? Ce projet de loi, on devait le recevoir après combien de temps?
Il y a une violation de la loi.
It is total violation of the law. Democracy is not about the majority, but the respect of the law. What does the law say? How to work on the voluminous document within the short time left before adoption is one of the major worries of these opposition MPs.
Je ne vois pas un député qui, par extraordinaire, pourra exploiter.
I don't see any extraordinary MP here that will read and examine a document of 1,200 pages in few days.
Le circuit d'examen d'un projet de loi avant que ça n'arrive à l'adoption en plénière.
Despite the squabbles, the Speaker, Kavaye Yege Jibril, and the CPDM lawmakers accepted the Prime Minister head of government, Joseph Diongote, to present the economic, financial, social and cultural program, as well as the bill for evaluation and adoption. But the questions raised by the opposition members of parliament remain unanswered. Why more than 30 days late in submitting the text? Why an incomplete draft text without explanatory notes? Questions presented to the parliamentarians, including the majority group.
And the University Institute of Technology has adopted a new professional program as a means of meeting its objective in giving quality education. This is in line with the goals of the institution and government plans to professionalize higher education learning in Cameroon. More in the following story.
The outcome of the deliberations saw new programs adopted to meet up with the demands of the competitive world. Before now, proposals had been presented, but pending approval following administrative procedures for new programs by the Academic Planning Committee, chaired by the rector of the University of Douala. Other problems affecting the University Institute of Technology, IUT, were equally tabled for deliberations. The November 26 session was also an opportunity for the rector of the University of Douala to warn against limited research and absenteeism on the parts of lecturers, which is adversely affecting the learning process. By valorizing skills, as IUT adopts a more professional approach in learning, this, according to its director, is to enable them train students who will not only fit into the job market, but also able to create jobs for themselves and the rest of the society. Before the kickoff of deliberations, the rector of the University of Douala took time off to visit different stands where students showcase practical skills that can transform them into job creators. And retracing the past and presence of communities while clearly bringing out a specific vision of the future which embraces the realities of the habits, rights and customs and traditions of each people within the African continent is the reason why these historians and anthropologists are meeting in Bafoussam West region of Cameroon. That we should carry our research with the Grassfield Research Institute to control the narratives and change how Africa is being perceived by the world. This comes at the PAQUA 2023 Festival of Data.
We learned a lot about our identities, our cultures, how to valorize and preserve them. And coming to Bapa, the history of Bapa also, we have learned a lot about the history, and their museums speaks volumes. Their museum speaks volumes of what they have done, the series of wars, the different fandoms. And I want to say that Bapa is a place to be for those who want to reconnect, especially those from the diaspora who want to reconnect with their people.
An orange, according to management of Orange Cameroon, can be used in financial transactions by content creators and other users.
Thousands of Cameroonians not only thrilled by these star artists on stage at the Bepanda Sports Stadium this November 24, 2023, but also attracted by the new super app launched by the telecommunications operator Orange Cameroon. Maxit is the new application that merges all the telecom, financial and e-commerce services to ease the daily lives of users in Cameroon, Africa and the Middle East.
Maxit will bring a number of advantages for Cameroonians. First of all, Maxit will bring a simple and unique interface to access to many universe. The universe for telco services, universe for mobile money services, Orange Money for Orange Money users, and a universe for the marketplace. And marketplace is new. Marketplace is coming with many services. For example, the ticketing. The ticketing which was used for the concert, for the launch of Maxit, was all the tickets were generated actually from the marketplace in Maxit.
Maxit is a super app, and Maxit is supposed to help our customer and to facilitate the life of each day. In example, if you want to command a taxi, you can make it with Maxit. If you want to buy food, you can make it with Maxit.
The application equally gives content creators the possibility of monetizing their talents.
We have this challenge in Cameroon and in all African countries where it's actually very difficult to the digital talent to monetize the content. So with Maxit, it will be possible actually to monetize. With Maxit, this is an application which will not be used only in Cameroon. It will be used in many African countries. So it means that those digital contents which can be successful in Cameroon can be actually exported to other African countries where Orange is present.
Another advantage of this mobile service portal, Maxit, is its accessibility. Everyone can use it regardless if they are Orange Cameroon customers or not, but Orange Money remains the payment base.
You don't need an Orange Cameroon SIM card actually to use Maxit. You can be a user from other service provider and using Maxit.
Maxit is available in many languages and integrates local specificities for more inclusion, with remarkable success recorded in My Orange and Orange Money applications launched a few years back. Orange Cameroon anticipates 45 million active Maxit users by 2025.
And that advertorial brings us to the end of this edition of the Primetime Newscast in the English language on Canal de International. And that brings so you see me back again here on Monday for another edition of News in the English language. Thanks so much for watching. Good night.